Hello, welcome to Ellie Toys. Are you sitting comfortably? She asks in a slightly menacing tone. If you are not, now is the time, right now, to go and get yourself a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or something warm and fuzzy, maybe even a soft blanket, and well, or all of these things or none of them. But when you come back, make sure you are sitting comfortably because dun, dun, dun. Next year is the 10th anniversary of the birth of Lego Friends, and we, you, me, and all of the people watching this video right now at this moment in time are going to delve deep dive back into the history of what caused this much needed theme to eventuate and why it is so incredibly important that it did happen at all. Ooh, I feel like I need one of those going back into time things. Oh, there we go, I got one, that's nice. Okay, so I'm going to start with this merry little picture. It's so lovely, and I'm going to be a bit contentious, but bear with me. See this cute, pigtailed, overall-wearing girl child here. This is a vintage Lego ad from 1981. Is that 20 years ago? That's 20 years ago, actually. So does that make it vintage? I don't know what makes things vintage. Anyway, it pops up all the time. It's all over the interwebs. My Facebook is full of it. And it's like, it's a much beloved and lauded girl power statement. Girl power. And when people see it, they go, well, oh! And then the comment section goes nuts with stuff like, what's happened with Lego? Used to be so gender neutral and fun for everyone. Boys and girls, they both love it. Yeah, it also invites a whole swathe of comments about how bad Lego is these days with their gendered sets and instruction builds and how they really lost their way and bring back the good old days of just boxes of primary coloured blocky block bricks so kids can just build and they can be free, man. I totally should have learned by now not to read the comments on these sorts of posters. There's a slippery black hole into troll hell, but I haven't, and I shouldn't. But so I won't do it. I won't, but I probably will because I never learn, and then I get so angry, and I have to have a little lie down. Anywho, I want you to look at this ad past the surface appeal of gender equity and cute kid creativity, and then I want you to ask yourself, why was this ad necessary? Let's start with the fact this ad is definitely aimed at parents and not kids. Perhaps, just perhaps, it was necessary because girls were not actually playing with Lego. And parents, the people who buy the sets, needed convincing that Lego wasn't just for boys. Could that be it? So anyway, so let's put a cute girl in overalls and pigtails in an ad too sweet to fix this. Yaysies! Now, before you start telling me how gender equitable Lego used to be, like all the comments, and why do we need Lego just for girls, and trust me, this is a can of worms that I will be opening in another video. Why does no one ever raise a ruckus about Lego Ninjago and Lego City and Lego Chima and Lego Bionicle and Lego Monkey Kid? I could go on, being so clearly targeted for boys like they did when Lego Friends eventuated. But anywho, this is for another nice long chat, so be afraid, be very, very afraid. But headed back into the past for now, back from my tangent, girls were not actually playing with Lego. I know that right now there are people writing in the comments telling me how much you loved Lego as a kid, and you were a girl, and very possibly still are, and you love building those spaceships and castles with your bro in blocky primary colours and being super creative without needing instructions. But the facts are, the majority of girls weren't doing this. You were an anomaly, not the standard norm. Lego just didn't speak to girls. Now, Lego was well aware that the average girl was not into Lego. For years and years, they had tried to crack into the lucrative girl market and didn't quite succeed with themes like Homemaker. Don't even get me started on the theme name, but it was a different time. Scala, Paradisa, Clickets, and Belleville. Do you think that if girls were building with Lego on an equal footing to boys, the Lego company would have poured years of money, design, research, and tooling into the development of what eventually becomes Lego Friends? Yeah, no. No. So, because they wouldn't have had to. If the female market was already tapped, there wouldn't have been a need. So, they did! And lo, Lego Friends was birthed in January 2012 and sparked, quote, a wide-ranging conversation about role of gender in construction toys, end quote. Interpretation? There was much range. There was petition writing, and there was general gnashing of teeth.
What the what?
Why do girls need Lego? We already have Lego for girls. It's called Lego.
The new mini doll figure in particular caused much rage amongst adult Lego fans, with it being labelled sexualised and an abomination. Seriously, abomination? Harsh words for a little plastic doll. And if you think these very G-rated cartoony figures, sitting here amongst some of the other similar dolls available at the time for a bit of perspective, is sexy, then you need to take a good hard look at your perceptions. So let's address some more questions from the outraged masses. Here's one. Why couldn't girls just play with minifigures? Because girls just didn't connect with that blocky little dude. Lego did a whole vast and very expensive world of market research, and they found that girls just weren't interested in playing with an abstract figure. They wanted a figure that they could see themselves in, one with more realism and fine detail. And this can't possibly have been a decision that was made lightly. I mean, seriously, if the same audience could have been reached without creating a completely new figure, Lego would have most certainly done that. So much of their identity is wrapped up in that blocky block dude, the minifigure. But almost 10 years on, I still see AFOLs, that's an acronym for adult fans of Lego, still ranting about how they hate mini dolls, with little substance to base their argument on, apart from hating something that was made with a different play experience in mind. So where's another argument? Oh, here we go. Here's one. They're cheap. No, they're really not. Mini dolls cost more to make than minifigures. They're less articulated. Yep, that's totally true, and I dislike that too, but I know that if Lego could have made a great quality mini doll that was more articulated, they totally would have done so. This beautiful little mini doll that we have now is the compromise, and I'm okay with that. I'm really not. I want them to be more articulated, but it's not a reason to hate on them. Another one. They don't stick on things when they sit. Okay. I don't stick on things when I sit either. Actually, I do when it's really sweaty in summer, but that's not the way. You want to take a look at the minifigures? Kid minifigures can't sit at all, nor can ones with skirts or mermaid tails, and even flexible fabric skirts prevent minifigures from bending far enough to sit. So, bum. Now, there are more things out there, but they just get sexist, and I'm not even going to justify those comments with an argument. It's so long past time to move on from the mindset that something made with girls in mind is less than something made for boys. We need to be better than that. So I've digressed, but mini dolls have weathered the storm and almost 10 years later have more than proven their worth and place in the Lego system. But, just on a tangent here, they're still underappreciated. We are yet to see a CMF series of mini dolls, and emotions face prints seriously need to be addressed more, and smile heads don't work for every situation, and girls notice the details. These things will come, I think. I hope. I perpetually live in hope. It's a lovely place. Anyway, back to 2012, where I went way far off track there. Sets, such a long way back. Sets such as Adventure Camper, Butterfly Beauty Salon, Olivia's House and Treehouse, and Heart Lake Vet were released. And I rejoiced, me, a middle-aged mum of 2 kids who was not the target audience. I was in love. Tiny quality dolls, check. Buildable dolls houses full of details, check. Made out of quality Lego. So many checks, just take my money, take it all. And it quickly became clear that the target audience also was in love. It seemed a huge quantity of girls who had never delved into Lego before were absolutely sold on this new line. In 2012, the line doubled sales expectations. In the first 6 months of 2012, the Lego Group's net profit rose 35%, partially driven by the success of the Friends line. Lego Friends was a blow-away success, repeatedly being in the top 5 selling Lego themes and still going super strong today. So, yes, they created a line of Lego that was deliberately marketed at engaging girls, yay, and was deliberately enforcing gender stereotypes to do so. Less yay, which is problematic, but Lego, contrary to a lot of other toy brands, gets a conditional get-out-of-jail-free card here. Their sets encouraged a whole generation of girls to build, girls who had previously never tried Lego before. You know what Lego does, right? it inadvertently develops your spatial, mathematical, and fine motor skills, those highly coveted STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics skills that everyone pushes girls to do because it's been dominated by the boys' club for so long. Now, girls were doing this now without even knowing, while building their intricate dolls' houses with tiny dolls and taking them, yes, to the butterfly hair salon. And you know that condition I put on the get out of jail free card? It gets invoked because the Lego Friends line has evolved. Lego got their foothold in the girl market and then used that to integrate soccer and karate and go-karting and jungle adventures side by side with shopping malls and hair salons. Lego captured their girl market and then they did better. Now, I don't know if that was always their plan to get their foot in the door and then overthrow the patriarchy one mini doll at a time, or if they were simply responding to the vitriol that was unleashed at the very gendered initial releases. But the point is that they did it, and they continue to do it. Over the almost 10 years of the Friends' existence, there has been a massive divergence and choice structure. Friends now have copious adventures, intricate and interesting builds with a different range of abilities and architecture that, and fight me, it rivals anything that Lego City has offered recently. The Lego Friends theme has truly evolved, and it continues to evolve, as you would hope, because things that don't evolve die. Or at the very least, they get really boring. Now, remember that ad from the beginning? Well, it's currently being used as a promotional tool with current girl Legoers to show off their creations. Real girl Legoers, girls who now Lego regularly and passionately. And that, my friends, is why Lego Friends matters. It's almost 10 years on the market, has built a massive base of girls who love to build. Girls and boys are equally passionate about Lego now and can build from whatever theme they want to, though we desperately need more mini doll themes. Hashtag bring back elves. I do want to take a moment here to acknowledge that the Friends theme also brought a new fan base of boys to Lego. Boys who didn't previously build. Boys who appreciate detail and architecture and scene building. There are lots of you out there, but gendered marketing hurts them too. That's a whole other video. But before I go, a PS. That fan base that started in 2012, well, some of them will have lost interest in Lego throughout their senior teenage years. This is traditionally called the Lego Dark Ages. But they're about to re-emerge and remember how much they loved Lego. A whole new generation of women who are nostalgic about Lego and the building process. A massive influx of faithfuls. God, that sounds ridiculous to say. Female adult fans of Lego. So clunky. So, what are you going to offer us, Lego? I am excited to find out.